Hey, good morning. I'm coming to you here from New Hampshire, where we went away with the kids for a few days to rejuvenate, to collect our thoughts, to gather ourselves before everyone disperses. This coming year, 7 of our kids won't be living at home, and they'll be coming for holidays, of course, and in between. But it was a good time to get away for a few days in beautiful New Hampshire. And it was interesting because as I was driving here, we drove on the highway for about 2 hours. And then, after that, we get off the highway. And for like 5-10 minutes, you're driving. And literally, you're on dirt roads. And you feel lost. All you see is trees and trees and trees. And then, you make a right onto this little road. And from the little road, there's no addresses. There's no signs. You just take the second dirt road and you drive up a dirt road. And the dirt road is thousands of trees just driving up, and suddenly you come to this open spot where there's this beautiful home in the middle of nowhere. And it made me think about this week's Torah portion, because this week's Torah portion, we read about the cities of refuge. Moses reminds the Jewish people that when they come to the land of Israel, they had to make cities of refuge, where, heaven forbid, if someone kills someone by mistake, and he had an experience of death, he has to run away to the city of refuge to come to terms with what he did, to run away from those who are seeking the blood of the person he killed, and also to contemplate and think how he came to such a moment in his life where even by mistake, he was able to take a life. And the Torah tells us that you had to have cities of refuge, but it was the responsibility of the rabbis and the community leaders to make signs on the road that would tell you where to go. Here's a city of refuge all over. So that means if you were driving along or you were walking along back then on a horse and buggy and you were looking for a city of refuge, you always had signs showing you which way was the city of refuge. But the Rebbe, in one of his talks, asked a good question. The Rebbe says that when it comes to the temple, where Jews came 3 times a year and throughout the year to come to God, it doesn't tell us any biblical commandment that you have to have signs showing people where the temple will be, where the Beit HaMikdash is. And the question is why, when it comes to the city of refuge, does the Torah obligate the leaders and the rabbis to make signs that say, here's a house of refuge? Yet when it comes to the temple and other very, even more significant things that people went to and used, the Torah doesn't give us that responsibility. And one of the answers is a very simple and logical one. When someone's running to the city of refuge, he has no time to stop and ask anyone, because people are chasing him. They want to avenge the blood of the person that he killed. And he's running and he has to get to the city of refuge. So imagine if he had to stop and find directions. He wouldn't be able to get there safely. But when someone's going to the temple for the holidays, or for whatever it may be, to bring a sacrifice, to say thank you to the Almighty, to ask for forgiveness, this time, you go on your horse and buggy, you want to know where to go, you ask a question. Is it right? Is it left? There's people to ask. There's no rush. Says the Rebbe, metaphorically, the same is true in our lives. We're all running to a city of refuge. We're looking for a place to find a refuge from the world, from our traumas, from our challenges, from our struggles, from the things that bother us and hurt us and pain us. We're desperate to come to a city of refuge, a city of spirituality, a city of holiness. And it's the obligation of leaders and rabbis and all of us to make sure that there's signs along the way that show the people where to go. Here is the house of refuge. Here's a place where you can get spirituality. Here's a place you can get counsel. Here's a place you can get love and a hug if you need it. When you're feeling down, when you're feeling broken, when you're feeling tormented, when you're feeling alone in the world, when you're feeling you have no value, no need. There's signs that direct us to the place you have to go. And it's interesting because here I am in the middle of nowhere. And you go through thousands of trees It's so quiet and peaceful. But yet at a certain point, you drive up this little dirt road and you find a method to the madness. Beyond all the trees, beyond all the little roads, there's beauty, there's God's nature, there's a blessing from Hashem. And the same is true in our struggles, in our challenges, in our traumas. It looks like wild madness. There's nowhere to go, there's no home. You feel lost. But the Torah obligates us to show houses, signs that tell us this is a house of refuge. This is a place of spirituality, a Torah, because the Torah is a Torah of love, a Torah of care, a Torah of embracing every single human being, wherever they may be. You know, this coming Shabbos, we're blessing the new month of Elul. And Elul is the month when God comes out to the field, the rabbis tell us, which we'll speak about more next week. But God is accessible to each one of us. Karav Hashem, we say every day in Ashrei, in the famous chapter of Psalms 145 from King David, Karav Hashem l'chol karav. God is close to whoever calls him. L'chol ashrei yikru'uhu ve'emes. To whoever calls him from the depth of our heart, from truth. And that's what the Torah says. Wherever you go, there needs to be a sign. There's a house of refuge. We, as human beings, as Jews, as community leaders, have a responsibility to show love, to show embracing, to show direction to those that are needing it, to show emotional needs to those that need it, and spiritual needs, so they could find God, so they could find a house beyond all the trees and all the madness. Have an awesome day, and I hope you're enjoying your day.